way more time than we typically would have done on the show, and we all decided we're gonna run it back. We're gonna come back, and we are going to sit down and talk track. So we are going to be joined by Scotty said rain check, pun intended, because we have a lot of rain. So he's not going to be joining us today. So it's just going to be Dale Wayne and Donnell S. Dale once we have them on the Zoom. We will be talking to them. Right. So in the meantime, I'm going to try and share the live. So all y'all track nuts out there, be sure to tune in and hear what we have to say, because this weekend was straight up lit. Straight up lit. And I mean, Jamster, what do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was. I mean, I spent the whole weekend tucked in watching. Yeah, it was lit. What I noticed about the 100-meter female is that
No.
Wait. No,
Okay,
no, it was sort of a summary. What I was going to say is that the same five who I said we had to look out for, they were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not necessarily in the order, but it was the same five, the same cohort who basically were the ones that were the top five.
Yeah, we get in.
Mm-hmm.
We get in there.
So we'll get to that when we get to that. Yeah.
Yeah, so typically I like to start the show by, talking about, what our headlines were. So I'm waiting for those two cats to join on.
Just as an aside, I thought it was interesting that it was 96 degrees in Hungary. I mean,
96 degrees?
Yes, that's what it was. That's what it was really hot yesterday and today, apparently.
Isn't there a song about that?
No, it's in Jamaica.
96 degrees.
In the shade.
In the shade.
Well, yeah, I thought that was Hungary of all places. 96 degrees. There was actually a shot. There was a shot on Peacock on Saturday or Sunday, when I think it was the day when Shelley was doing the heats. And they have these portable wheeled air conditioners in the rooms where the athletes are the ready rooms on wheels. Sort of looks like a slim refrigerator, and Shelley was standing on a chair in front of the AC. You know that thing you do when something you're hot. So it was kind of funny.
Wow.
So that's when it's only 2 days when they mentioned the heat, and I was there saying, why is it that hot? And then you were saying that it's supposed to rain later in the week, so we shall see.
Yeah, there's supposed to be some thunderstorms, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But it seems as though the weatherman has changed a few of those predictions. And so in Hungary, let me just check now. In Hungary on Friday, which was supposed to be scattered thunderstorms, Budapest. Scattered thunderstorms, and that 70% chance of that happening in the day and the night. That has now changed to, oh, sweet. I'm not, what? I am so happy. This is great. So Friday is now forecast to be sunny. Saturday is forecast to be mostly sunny, and Sunday we have isolated thunderstorms. So this would mean that Noah Lyles is going to have Well, yeah, let him in, because I told Del Wayne to keep him on standby because Scotty's not coming in. And he's competing on Wednesday. So that's why we want to be able to get some hot takes from him. Isn't that great?
Absolutely.
To get one of the athletes who is actually competing
absolutely
to sit down and have a conversation with us. You can't get this anywhere else.
True.
Only on Win FM, because we win.
Especially not around here.
We are winning. On the FM stereo.
I wish we could spread our winningness to Mr. Bunton.
Oh, well, that's what we're going to do. All I like to do is win, no matter what. Got winning on my mind, and I don't give a love. Everybody go up. So yeah, are they on board? Have we seen them? We seen Deli. You seen Donnie?
We have Donnie already.
Donnie, great.
Just trying to get Delwyn and
Delwyn, okay,
um,
great.
Nadal. Is it Nadal or Nadal?
Well, he gonna tell us how to,
Okay.
because his father was always a winner,
Yeah.
I'm
a
on.
straight
I'm
up
on.
winner.
Del
So I mean, it's no surprise that his son is.
In fact, his father, I didn't even realize this. I realized I saw him in some pictures from the Leeward Islands Calypso competition. Right? So I said, what was Richie doing there? And then I found out, oh, he represented St. Croix.
Oh,
See, you didn't even know that either,
no,
right?
I didn't know.
I saw him. I said, "Oh, I thought maybe he just went to Angola for the lime, not realizing apparently he represented St. Croix.
Hmm?
'Cause that's where he lives now.
Ah,
Yeah.
sweet. All right, so we're waiting for the guests to come on live, and I
I'm
actually
here.
tried. I was chided for not having a female on this panel earlier today, and I was like, "Yeah, that's a good point."
Yeah,
And
but why have a female just for the sake of having a female?
not just for having a
We can have
female.
a female if the female is interested in that stuff.
No, I was
and
trying to
knows
get a
her
former
stuff.
athlete,
Okay.
and so
Okay.
I did reach out. Didn't get a response yet, and
Mhm.
so we'll see.
So there you go. See,
Oh my gosh.
I'm not into this thing of having someone just for the sake of having that particular cohort when if it's not organic, if
Mhm.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get it. I got you. I got you. All right. Listen, I'm trying to get the show started, but it's hard to start without these guys because they make the show. So
We are here. Larry, you're not
Mr.
hearing
Edel-
us?
Edel is there. I think we can.
Oh,
we can
oh,
start.
Donnie's there. Yeah,
Yeah.
we could get
We've
started.
been
With
here.
him.
We've
Started
been
from
on.
8 minutes past 7 already.
Yeah, we could get started with him.
I mean, Donnie's a coach, right?
Yeah.
Donnie, you
Oh my
coached
God.
me.
There you go. So let's start. We've already wasted 5 minutes. So
We didn't waste it.
Well, you know what I
We
mean.
were just having
Larry?
trouble.
Sorry,
All right.
okay.
We
you're
good?
not here.
Yeah, I think.
All right, coach. You can hear me?
Hi. Yeah, good evening. You can hear me?
Yeah, man.
Larry?
Yeah. Awesome. Good.
Delwyn,
You hear me?
yeah,
You hear
Delwyn,
me?
Nadal is on already also.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sweet. So everybody that needs to be on is on.
Yes, from what I'm seeing here.
All right. So let's get the show. What am I hearing? What y'all want me to know?
Wait, guys, could you put on your cameras, please?
Yeah, they said put on your camera so we can see you.
And make sure. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, I could hear your jam stuff pretty good.
Okay, so that looks like Nadal. We just need Delwyn to put on his camera now. I know it's after 1 and he's probably half asleep.
He's not
but
half asleep.
I'm joking.
All right. Yes. Now we could get the show started. Share the live. You guys need to share this live with your cohort. I know you guys have athletes and former teammates and current teammates and mateys and all. Did I say matey? All of those people that would love to see you guys on this show. Share the live. Share the live. All right, Del Wayne. I see you now. Let's get this show on the road. What I'm interested in finding out today, first of all, I should have an I Told You tour. I'm going to start with it. I know you guys were a bit skittish on my prediction and being all in on Noah Lyles. So I'm just going to take this time to just let you guys boost my ego a little bit and just say, I'd say like, yeah, you knew what you were talking about.
And
So
I'm
I will just keep quiet now and let you guys say a few words.
And I'm just gonna gloat over here as well. 'Cause
All right.
I pretty
So
much.
so guys, coach, you go ahead and say what you got to say. I'll be listening.
I want to congratulate Noah Lyles. on
Congratulate me
victory,
first.
and I want to congratulate
Dale, leave on your
Tate
camera. Go ahead.
and Jamster for making the prediction. But honestly, though, in the semifinals, we suspected he was a little different than he normally would have been. The semifinal predicted a lot for us. He got out. He didn't get the bad normal start. He had a good enough, fair enough start, and you see that in the finals, he was able to take advantage of getting out. And it was a very, very good 100-meter race. Very, very competitive. Second to fourth was all the same 988.
Right.
So
Exactly.
it was
Did you see the
exciting.
photo finish? I almost thought Seville had it. I mean, if they just moved that cursor just a little,
Yeah.
Seville and what's his name? Letsile did not dip.
He dipped early. Look at the video. He missed his dip, mistimed it.
Okay, yes, correct. And then he just went on. Anyway, it still wouldn't. He just would have outright held that 987 had he dipped. Anyway,
Yeah, correct.
Delwyn, I'm listening.
Oh, gosh, here we go, David.
Listening.
Yeah, so it was a good race, competitive race.
No, we're not hearing about the race. You need to tell me. Hey, you.
Congratulations, guys! Congratulations on your lucky picks.
It wasn't luck.
Lucky
It was
pick,
intuition.
Oh,
Right,
God.
lucky picks. But I spoke to Mills earlier today, and he was saying that had they executed the races better. But this is how he explained to me.
If
So I
everyone
told him,
executes their race better, they run better.
no, but I mean, some persons would have messed up even more than others, if I understand what
Seville
I'm saying,
tightened up towards the end. That was clear.
right?
And he said it
Uh,
himself.
he for one, how he explained with
Oblique.
no Zanel, because he coached
Okay.
both of them, right?
Oh, true.
Yeah, and so he said that Zanel doesn't have a good reaction time, doesn't have a good start. But he said once you don't have something good and don't do it as good as you can do it,
Mm-hmm.
you're fighting even a further uphill battle.
Mm-hmm.
So he don't have a good start, and in the race he had a terrible start,
No,
right?
Delwyn, sorry to interject, but his reaction was the fastest, though.
Reaction don't mean he had a good start. He could react, but
Yeah, I'm saying. I thought you said his reaction. So his
no,
acceleration you're talking about
yeah,
from
his start phase, his first phase.
okay, first phase. Okay, because he almost false started actually 0.105.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
So, and then he said for Seville, he said that he ran too fast too early. But he said he told him that he didn't know he was going that fast. But he said at this level you have to know.
You should know. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah. And so he
That's
said
correct.
that kind of probably throw him off a bit. But all you have to do it on the day. Bishop Carey, I knew she would have been in the mix. I really knew she would have been in the mix, especially after the semifinals, because she had a terrible
Start.
start.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think she shouldn't have made the finals with that.
Yeah.
He muted Delwyn.
Yeah, Delwyn is muted, but it's okay. Delwyn, your mute is on. We can't hear you.
Delwyn, we can't hear
can't
you.
lip read right now, and the people on the radio can't hear you. So
Still talking, and
he's still talking.
Yeah.
Delwyn. Okay. Well, maybe he doesn't hear us talking over him. And
Yeah.
so
The Hungarian Wi-Fi is very trash.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
Nadal.
it's really.
Okay, well let's hear from the cat who's going to be competing on Wednesday, right? You're running on Wednesday, right?
Yes, sir. You're right.
Yeah, go ahead.
And you're pretty fast, man. You're faster than me, Delwyn, and Donnie from way back in our
Definitely
days. I mean, I never ran on a 21. These other two ran. I mean, I think Donnie ran 20.8, and I think Delwyn ran 20.7. Donnie, you ran 2088 or 2080 something 85.
80 something, 81 I think or something.
81, and then Delwyn that same race ran 2087.
No,
No,
77.
77.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, he did it. Yeah.
And this young one is now coming running 20.4. Like, why are you showing us off like this, man?
It's just a lot of hard work and coaching trusting my coaching process and everything like that. So I'm blessed to be here now.
So the first time you broke 21, how did that feel?
It felt like it should have happened earlier. It was it was like a process that I had to kind of deal with. It was like my junior year in college, and we're just going through it. And every day at practice, we're getting like we're having like laser time. So we have laser times, and I'm running 20-point in practice. But when I get to the meet, I'm not running it. I'm not running it. I'm not running it. So it was like it was getting frustrating. But then I had to kind of find like the mental point of it, and then it got easier and easier. So when the first time I broke it, it was probably like I broke it at I would say my biggest meet was my conference meet in Big Tens my junior year, but it was, that was during the COVID year, and that was from I broke it. I ran like 20.8. So yeah. Hello.
Yeah, we're listening. We can hear you.
Yeah. So yeah, the first time I ever broke to 21 was that my big conference meet my junior year. That was during the COVID year, and I ran like 20.8. So yeah, that was probably like that was the first time. It was exhilarating because my first time, every single time, he just kept running 21-1, 21-1, and then I broke it by running a 20.8 legal win. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that's a feat. I can relate to that. I did run 20-point in practice, and I think I ran 10 flat in practice, and I just never ran fast. I was pulling a Noah Lyles in the 100. I mean, I couldn't start to save my life, and I think records have it that I have run Delwayne down before. If he wants to deny that, I have it on video.
Oh, here we go.
But that's still not as fast as you. So we're proud of you.
Yeah, we are.
Extremely proud of you. And it's amazing. When we were your age, like, I mean, Donnie, like sometimes you feel like you're young forever. Like you feel like you're not gonna get slow. You just feel like you're gonna keep running fast until one day you just run slow, and you're like, wait, is this it?
Yeah, you will know when. Yeah.
So
Definitely.
keep carrying that torch, man. How are you? How is the weather and how is the atmosphere over there right now?
It's been good. The weather has been pretty hot. But as of like what's going on right now, you guys are gonna get some news you guys don't know. It's been 6 days now, going on to the 7th day. I don't have my bags from the airplane. So we had to go out and get some spikes and some shoes and stuff like that, and I've just been running that way. At this point, it's just one of those things. I still have a job to do, so I have to go out there and run.
There you go.
And
That's it. That's that mental
it's
grit.
nothing else. I still have a job to do, so I go out there and run and represent the right way. It's
been pretty hot there, right?
Yeah, it's been pretty hot. Going to the warm-up track has been pretty hot. Going out there, I don't read Celsius well, but it feels like it's about 90 something on that Mondo track. Every single time I go out there to work out and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've seen
and getting accustomed
in the high 90s, but I think you'd rather have that than the 50s, right?
Definitely. You don't want to.
Did you ever run in the Midwest?
Around the East, but yes, the Midwest, Northern, where it's always cold. Right. So a lot of times we're in practice, we're indoors. So
right. So I'm pretty sure you're happy for 90-degree weather. So what's your highlight of the weekend so far before this afternoon? In fact, all of us, I want us to give our own highlight of the entire meet before this afternoon. What would have been your highlight? You can start with you, Nadal, and then Delwyn, and then Donnie, and then Jarmstar.
Before this afternoon, I think it would have been the when I was watching the 400-meter girls go off. I know she didn't make the semis, but when I found out that the girl from the Bahamas had came back and she ran, and she was like 4 months pregnant, and then she came back and she ran that. I'm like, what? And she still came out here? I wouldn't come out here.
She ran 52, and that's a lot faster than I can run right now. So
she ran 52, but that's 4 weeks. That's 4 months after she had given birth. And not a lot of people can do that and say they went to Worlds right after they gave birth. I think that was probably one of the biggest highlights before Noah won the 100, and before we just saw Shakira just run her own race in lane 9 and just took the women's 100-meter down. So
Delhi, what was your highlight before today?
Highlight before today. I was impressed with Shade Williams, Barbados.
Yes. She looked
In,
crisp.
yeah, running out of lane 8 in that same race with
Shani.
Shanae Miller. She looked good. She looked good running her own race and so on. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that just pop into my head from yesterday's
Coach,
running.
what's yours?
you're muted.
I can't hear you, you know. Stop hitting the mute button.
Yeah, you can hear me now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think the mix 4x4. That was my highlight up to this point. No one thought Femke Ball would have been caught in the last 400, and that US girl split 48-9, I think.
48-8.
48-8. That's some tremendous guts and heart to go up to a dominant athlete like Femke and run her down until she just fell to the ground before the finish. So that was a pretty good race. I enjoyed that. Of course, I enjoyed the men 100 also, but for me, that one showed that athletes that you might not be considered the favorite going into a race, but on the day you could bring something that you never brought before, and she brought 48-8 on that day, and she brought in the goal. So that was my highlight. Yeah, that's great.
Trevor, what was your highlight?
Actually, I think Donnie stole my thunder.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was very satisfying because you know them folks carry on about their own, right? Even when they're not so good, although ball might be kind of good or whatever. I'm not gonna really give it too much props, but anyway. So it was good to see Alexis Holmes, and Alexis, even if ball didn't fall, Alexis was gonna catch her and pass her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, my highlight was Letsile Tebogo. And the reason why, if you'd watched the interviews, the post-race interviews,
Yeah.
I had never seen an athlete be this humble. I guess maybe it's also cultural, where you have to respect your elders. And to just hear him just say, I wish Akani, Simbini, and Ferdinand got this medal before me. And I would actually swap positions with them
Yeah, he said that.
so
Yeah.
they can have this medal and not me because they've been doing this for so long.
Let's say I said that.
Yes, and
They
I
said it in an
just
interview.
reach and look, I've done it. And so I feel bad for them. That level of humility, it just touched me, and I just said, man, like this guy. I know he had his little thing shindig last year where he was pointing at the other guy, Nkrumah, and that was great. And people were talking about how cocky he was. He was like, nah, he was just giving people something, a show, basically. And the guy is really a humble, confident athlete. He didn't even know he was going to. He just wanted to make the finals. He said it. I just wanted to make finals. Like, this medal is actually like icing on the cake. And just to see that level of humility was quite was humbling, you know? So yeah, that was the highlights. And so let's talk a little bit about the 400s, those heats on day 2. The men, did you guys get a chance to see that?
Yeah, saw some of them, yeah.
Yes,
400 flat.
Yeah, 400, yeah.
That's very impressive. The guy from Norway, the youngster from
Yes,
Norway.
that guy, he broke the 44:39. He broke the Norwegian record. And I almost thought that Mr. Man had it, the Viking. Like, I can't believe the Viking hasn't run faster than 44:3.
You don't have time to run that race, that's why.
All right. I think that, and are you guys sticking with Steve right now as the favorite?
I'm sticking
Yeah,
with Steve.
I'm sticking with Steve. Stevie still. Kirani looked good in the heat still. 44.9. Easy run still. But I'm still sticking with Stevie and Van Niekerk. They're gonna be, to me, the top contenders still.
I didn't see that. How was Samukonga? I didn't see
Samakonga's
those.
injured. So
Oh, he's injured. Oh, so okay.
So he's injured. I think, I'm still going with Wade.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel that Wade reminds me of a smoother, faster version of the Viking, and I think that level of grit might outpace the gazelle of the giraffe in
Gosh.
Oh my gosh! So you saw what happened with what's her name? Brittany. What happened with her? Was her shins or something? Brittany Wilson.
Britain, but they said she had an injury. They didn't say well. I don't think that's
Brittany Wilson. I saw Brittany Wilson in the airport, and she had a boot coming in.
She had a
So
she came with a boot.
yeah, she can't had a boot coming in, so she did have an injury
Oh my
prior in.
gosh! So she
Yeah,
wow. So
that's how this college circuit works. They like to they'll tell you to slap a boot on it, you'll be okay. You just have to go out there and run. And she went out there and she showed grit, but she's a very gritful runner. She runs with a lot of passion.
so if you were in her shoes, pun intended, would you? If you're in her boot, would you have run? Like, have you run injured yet or hurt or
I
both?
have run injured multiple times, but not. No, I've never experienced shin splints. But it's not shin splints. It's a stress fracture, basically, kind of what it is. And some people can chance it and run on it. I've seen it happen a lot of times in my school, where they chance it and they run on it a lot of times. But in college, they do it a lot, so it's not really out of the norm for her, for at least for me to see her walking around in the airport on a boot.
Wow. So what injury have you run with that made you feel like you shouldn't have run on that?
I would say like around like only like a hamstring injury, a knee injury, um, mainly a quad injury. I think that was like the worst one, but still went out there and ran, PR'd and with a quad injury. So sometimes the injury is just a nick, but it's hard to tell sometimes. But I think she's probably been on this program, because remember Britton Wilson when she was in college, she's running the 400 and the 400-meter hurdle double.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
This is bound to happen. And the way that she runs, she runs all out. There's no shutdown.
That is
There's no
true.
shutdown. She goes all out in every single race she does. Whether it be a first round, a semi round, or a final round, she goes all out. That's how she runs. That's just how she runs.
That is
Someone
very
needs to
true.
teach her. Maybe someone needs to teach her how to shut it down. And when she feels comfortable in the race, to just shut it down. But I don't think she has that switch.
Del Wayne, you which injury is worse for you? Calf injury or hammy?
Hambar. Hamstring. That hamstring, once that hamstring gives you that nudge, that's it. Maybe with calf, yes, I've run with calf injuries. I've just not run like on the ball of my feet, just to finish the race, maybe just run flat footed. So
Mm-hmm.
don't put any stress on the calf. But you can't do that with the hamstring. Yeah, you can't do that with the hamstring.
Coach, how have you felt with athletes who have had injuries and you're trying to coax them to determine whether they should still run? Because I found you to be you use empathy in your coaching. And that is very much unlike some people who have coached us in the past. I'm not going to call their names, but there's some
Oh,
of
God.
these people
You
start
don't
with
have
E.
to.
There's some that start with E.
You don't have to.
So how have you dealt with finding that balance of, yeah, I think you can run, or I need the points, or how do you deal with that?
Each athlete has a different threshold to pain. One, um, you have to know the individual athlete, and determine whether or not some athletes try to fake it. Some athletes are genuinely injured. So one good thing we normally do is make an assessment based on the medical advising from whether doctor, physiotherapist, and if they see that, for example, a hamstring, if it's level 1, you could probably risk it a little bit. Once you go level 2, 3, 4, that's a done deal. So it's always better to go on the side of caution when it comes to injuries. I think that's what's happening to Elaine right now. She tried to run through a lot of injuries and it's backfiring. So it's always best to sometimes monitor, get an assessment from a trained professional, and then you make a decision from that. The only the athlete knows the level of pain they're in, but you as a coach have to be able to protect the athlete also. For example, what the athlete said here, Bunting said, some athletes in college they just go run and they're just very competitive. So sometimes you have to protect the athlete from themselves so they don't destroy their future careers. But some coaches don't do that. It's all about points and winning. They don't see the long term of the athlete development. So some coaches are different. I'm just a little different with that. I make sure the athlete is monitored, the injury is preserved, and they are protected for future events and future athletic competitions.
I once saw Kobe Bryant give an anecdote on what it's like to play hurt. And he says, and I can't paraphrase what he said. He said, if you're in your house and you have a hamstring injury and you realize that there's a fire and your loved one is in a room and you need to rescue them and take them and go and into safety, you're not going to think about your hamstring. You're just going to get up and perform and deal with the pain afterwards. And when I heard him say that, I said to myself, he's correct. I mean, when you've seen, I saw someone like Dina Asher Smith last year. I think come into a situation. I think she had a cramp or niggle in a semifinal and come back and win, or just pull out of a particular event and then come back a few days later and win. I think the 200 or whatever the case may be. And that level of I had never possessed that level of grit. I mean, every time I got injured, that hamstring, I don't know, it just I think the part of the getting over that pain threshold is also mental, because there's actually a point where you can no longer do any more damage to the hamstring, even though you're feeling pain. That's what those trainers will tell you, and some coaches. You can't damage it anymore. It's just a pain threshold situation, which is why you know you can actually go and run. But yeah, I never really relished in that. So kudos to everybody who was running hurt, which is pretty much everybody by this time
Yeah, at this
of the
point,
year. Wow. So right. So what about field events, man? Let's give some field events some love. We saw what happened in the women's long jump. I had S.A. Brume as my favorite to win. And Tara was supposed to come second, and she actually came second. But I was really pleased to see somebody jumping over 7 meters once more. So what was your thoughts on that? Anybody who wants to take the floor?
Well, for me, I don't know if Nadal got a chance to view any much of the field events. But I'm telling you, the field events over the last couple of days was just, I mean,
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
If you talk about the shot putter who got the
Yes.
championship on his
Yes.
last
Beasting.
just tonight, I don't know if y'all saw it,
We'll
the guy from
discuss.
Sweden. Yeah, in the discus, he threw a championship record and won the goal on his last throw, whereas he would have just been overtaken by the athlete from, I don't remember where, but
Yeah.
he came down into second, and then he came back and won the goal. Um, the triple jump had in some drama where but got injured on his first jump, or first
Yeah, the
attempt,
Jamaican.
Yeah,
right?
that was disappointing, yeah.
So he was out. Um, so I'm just waiting for the I think the javelin is
Yeah.
yet to come. And so, I mean, the field events, the women on their long jump, they were excellent as well. The high jump, I think tomorrow it's going to be exciting.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes, I mean, lots of excitement. I mean, you could, and the crowd as well. The crowd as well is
I
welcoming.
wish
You know what I
I was
mean?
there. Yeah.
The crowd is welcoming. It almost send like shivers. You know what I mean? Like,
Aw.
yeah, type of thing. You know what I mean? And it took me back to times when I used to run, and you know what I mean? Yeah. You Yeah, seriously. Even watching like Parchman who last year, if you all remember, he wasn't able to finish. He did a run out
Yeah,
because
the
I was
injury.
right
Yeah, he had
behind.
a
He
injury
did a
and
run out and got injured over the first hurdle while
Yeah.
practicing. And he just had to come out of the race in the finals.
Hmm.
And this year he come back now and won, I mean, fairly close. I mean, he was a clear winner, but we had a
Oh.
good time
Oh,
for
that's another
second.
I told you so, by the way. Sorry, just
Oh boy.
science.
Remember, Broadwell wasn't there, Larry. So you could get this one. Broadwell got.
That's all right.
Oh,
but you know,
and we can't forget not not field events, but we can't forget the guy who broke the world junior record in the four hurdles.
Yes,
yes, Roshan Clark. Yeah,
that was
that's
epic.
insane.
Yeah,
Because that was my
I
Yeah.
next
mean,
segue. Actually, I was going to talk about the four hurdles. Which is day three. Um, what you think of, because the Viking didn't look like he was really running that fast. I didn't know it was that fast until I saw the time. I don't know. Did it look that fast to you?
Well,
I mean, 47 is not fast for the Viking, no, right? I mean, you have a world record at 45, so you're 2 seconds basically are there about off your world record. But I mean, McMaster looked pretty good.
Oh man,
I
yeah.
told y'all.
He looked so sharp.
I told y'all.
He is
But
going.
Wyman looked good as well. They just on the same heat. I mean, in the same next to each other in the lanes as well.
He is going to beat
The
the
Brazilian,
Brazilian. I think McMaster is going to beat the Brazilian. The
you think
Brazilian is
so?
coming. Yeah, he's going to get fourth. I think this is McMaster's year. He looks so sharp. And do you
So
know why he didn't do well last year? Because he tripped. He had
Antigua?
a issue with one of the hurdles where he kind of stumbled.
You all know why Benjamin is from Antigua, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Well,
he looked comfortable as well too. So I mean, I don't know if Wynham have anything else in his legs
you
to
Who?
mean
come back
Roshan?
again. Yeah.
I believe Roshan is gonna
Um,
lower the record again. He
Yeah.
just, I just
Remember,
get
he's
that.
been running all year. He ran all year. He actually won the Austin Sealy Award at Carifta for the first time, I guess, in a long time. I don't think he
mhm.
broke the record, but first time in a long time somebody went under 50 seconds for the four hurdles, and he just took off from there.
How old is he?
19.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
but
Wow.
as a 19-year-old, and he's tall. I mean, he has all the attributes.
Hmm.
Another runner who is tall, who had some antics in the semifinals, was that other Norwegian in the 1500. Deli, tell us about those antics on that turn as Inga Britson, I can't even pronounce his name, started to rile up the
That's
crowd
correct.
Oh, wow.
on the turn on that curve. Like, what was that atmosphere like? That's what I love.
Crazy. I mean, he had so much control of that race, so much control of that race. He actually ran the first probably 2.5, maybe close to 3 laps in last place, eh? And he just decided, to move on the back stretch of the final lap. He just started to move, and the crowd just started to get into it after the time making the move. Easy, easy, easy. And then he coming off the home stretch, coming off the curve. He turned to the crowd and waved them on, and I mean the crowd responded and noise, boy, noise. Energy.
Such
The
an
energy was real.
arrogant dude, man.
Jamsa doesn't particularly like him. He says he's
You don't like
arrogant.
that?
Oh,
I mean,
listen, the sport
you go.
needs. Yeah, and see. Let me tell you something, right? Yeah, and see. When one of the things I loved about what Noah did and what Zarnell did is when they crossed that finish line. Did you see the amount of emotion they showed? They showed a level of. Fred Curley does not show that type of emotion. And let me tell you something. Why is it that after Noah Lyles crossed that line and won, he ended up on ESPN headlines? He ended up on USA Today news. You understand? It's because he's showing you personality, he's showing you emotion, and fans do not connect. Okay, track nuts connect to fast times. The average fans connect to astronomically fast times like Bolt. But the middle, those independent, those average fans want an emotional connection to you.
But the emotion has to be authentic, though. You have to include authenticity in the emotion, eh?
Right. So and Noah and
Right.
Zarnell was just like, he looked like he won the race. And I was so happy, but that was a lot of relief from the years of not winning and false starting and those frustrations. He just looked like he just won. He didn't care what he won. He just won a medal. And I love to see that. And I love to see Noah being happy. And even today with Sha'Carri and the Jamaicans, them girls did not show no shade. You understand?
In fact, look, I predict, y'all, Del and Day, listen to me. I bet you when I bet you when the medal ceremony come, the three they're gonna be cracking up each other. They're gonna be there joking at
Right.
the same tree, those same tree.
And I
They,
think
they've
we the
always been friends, you know. They've
Yes.
always been
Yes.
friends.
I think we the fans are you guys are part of the Real Deal Track and Field group on Facebook because that has so much shadiness going on right now because after Sha'Carri won, they're like Kingston seems awfully quiet with cricket and all that kind of stuff. Like people are talking and just all this shade but I'm like, did you see Shelly Ann smile? It was
They like
genuine.
her. They like the girl. They like it's after. I think it was after when the whole when she got caught and after the Olympics and then she ran and she got last place. Everyone kept showing how Shelly was laughing in the background when she was having her interview. That was that they. I think they always liked her. It was just everyone was just trying to pick sides and pin sides, but when they really like her, she's not like she's not an unlikable person.
But
Yeah.
but just to add to it when Nadal said, I don't think athletes normally are very they don't really compete against each other in their personal lives. But it's sport. If you back an NBA team, an NFL team, the fans are gonna be the most toxic. Because everybody,
Exactly.
yeah, they like their team, they like their athlete, they support. It's actually not bad for the sport when you have rivals who competing at a high level. Sha'Carri won this time. Last year, the Jamaicans won. Now, guess what? It's going to be a bigger build-up for 2024.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Could the American come back and repeat, or are the Jamaicans going to come back? That don't mean the girls are not. It's like me, you, and Delway. We competed all the time. I came third to you guys most of the time. Right? We competed, but we were always friends. We always used to hang out still. But that competitiveness on the track is for the fans to choose sides, and that will make the sport more interested. Because the sports definitely need an injection of marketing and that type of stuff. The sport is such a beautiful sport, one of the best sports, but I think we lag behind a lot of the top major sports still.
But Delwyn and Donnell, let me ask you all a question. And Delwyn is, Donnell is in the U.S. Delwyn, what is it about you? You're making a case for track having a, let's say, image problem, but why is it track so big? I mean, look at it. The United States has practically most of the big athletes, yet this sport struggles for preeminence. And you look at Europe. I mean, look at the game. Look at the meet you're at now. I was telling thing over the weekend. Look at how full the stadium is.
Even look at London a couple weeks ago.
Yes, exactly.
For the Diamond League.
Yes,
it looked like a championship.
Yes. What's going on there?
ESPN is not taking it on. That's it. That's what I say.
Well, The president could give his opinion after, because he has a wealth of knowledge and experience, and he travels a lot and stuff. But from my opinion, from observing this sport, first of all, I coach track in the US at the high school level right now, and what I've realized, people do like track in the US, but to make a career in the US in sport, track is the lowest paid. So for us to recruit the best athletes in the high school, they're gonna always go for football first, basketball second, and then they some of them will go for soccer, right? But track is always the second sport, the sport that is left over. Very few pure track athletes in the high school that I coach, right? You have to convince them to come over because they don't see an income that could compete with an NFL player or NBA player.
That's a good point.
And that's the reality. So you're not going to attract the best talent. And then the sport itself is a traditionalist type sport. They want to have they want to stick to how the sport was in 1896, the first Olympics, and they're not making it attractive for the average fan. People like us who are track nuts, we're gonna love watching it either way. But for the low attention average fan who's not gonna be looking at other sports, going to be competing with other sports, we have to find a way to change the way the sport is marketed to those people, and then pay the top athletes what they deserve. For example, the World Championship, the winning 70,000 as a champion.
Yeah.
Some NFL players met that in one day. So it's a tough sell for top athletes, especially in the US, to come to track. But that's my opinion on that.
Delhi.
Yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it. Track is the most competitive sport.
But that doesn't explain the. Well, I guess maybe it does. I was gonna say
Yeah,
it doesn't explain the difference.
Why I said that though? Why is the most competitive sport? Because think about it. Whereas you sign a contract, right? And whether you win, lose, or draw, whether you win, lose, or draw in other sport, you already have your contract, right? You make most of your money in track and field by winning races.
True.
Mm-hmm.
There can only be one winner.
Yep. One person get the bag.
In other sports, it's two teams. So you have a 50% chance of winning. In track and field, in the finals alone, you have a 1 in 8. In the World Championships, you have a 1 in 36, 46, whatever the numbers are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even before you get to the World Championships. So I mean,
so you think
it's very difficult to attract your best athletes
at
a young age.
But Delwyn, it doesn't quite explain the. Is it because Europeans don't have to split their, let's say, allegiance between the NBA and hockey and football and all that? Is that the reason why they're into it so much more in terms of attendance and support?
I mean, everybody loves track and field because the competitive nature is a nice sport to watch and that sort of thing. But the money, the endorsement deals, the sponsorship deals, that's in football, soccer. You know what I mean? Especially over here in Europe. When you hear Manchester United signing a deal for upward of $100 million for 10 years and so on in endorsement. I mean, that's the budget for track and field, World Athletics. You know what I mean? And that's one team. So the money, even I think some years ago, Adidas made the shift and went from track and field to soccer, to football, where then they would have left us, Cuba, Trinidad, Bahamas. What else was on the Adidas? Quite a number. And they turned their attention to football.
And then Puma stepped in.
You do know what's happening with Ray Edwards, with what he's trying to do for the sport. At least next year, he's trying to have these 1 versus 1, 1v1.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
Tell me why. Because I think if next year, if we have a 1v1 between Shelly and Sha'Carri, that will just blow up.
No, I don't like it. Let me tell you why. Um, and again, Ray's entitled to his opinion. I don't think that they thought it through properly. All right. When you have a 1v1, see, like for example, this young Jamaican under 20 who ran 47.3, he would not exist in a situation like that. You would not find an athlete like that who come up the woodwork and upset the field. All right. This year, for example, the reigning world champion was Fred. If you have Fred on a 1v1, he wasn't even the champion this year. He didn't even make it to the final. So you place your bets in two athletes, hoping that it's gonna be successful. I know the example he used was the Michael Johnson and the Donovan Bailey, but Michael Johnson didn't even finish the race, so that didn't even come off.
And
So
even with Maurice Green also, didn't they have something also?
yeah, yeah, and they had a similar situation, and
Injury.
it wasn't successful. I don't think the eight athlete format is a problem. I think my opinion, and I heard Bolt say it years ago, and I always have the same opinion. I think outside the World Championship Series, we need to start going to teams. People associate themselves with teams. Even if they make these Diamond League cities a team, for example, the Hungary team versus the London team, and they compete on a series, and people be able to support a specific team. You draft athletes into that team, just like clubs in football and basketball. You draft athletes into those situations. You pay them, as Deli said, annual salary, and they have to compete on a circuit representing the specific Diamond League team. And then you have a Diamond League finals with all the teams coming together. Because
I
even in St. the most interesting and the most exciting meet is what? Inter school. Why?
primary. The primary level I think is more interesting than
Well,
the
okay, that's
second.
up for the debate. But it's the same concept. We call schools versus schools. Even at NCAA level, NCAA is very exciting because you have the SEC team versus the Big 12 versus the Big 10 coming together at the final NCAA meet, competing to get the national championship. So that's a format I think it's more exciting. I'm a small man, small fish in the whole thing, so no one is gonna listen to me. But
Nah, but
this,
you bring up a good
I've
point.
been saying the same thing. I've been saying the same thing for why because like you are right, the NBA, the NFL, they gravitate towards their specific team. You see all these. You see like a Falcons fan, a Ravens fan, a Giants fan, a Cowboys fan. It's all team based.
mm-hmm,
And you look at track in the college level, it is kind of crazy because people there's a lot of people that go out to these meets for college because it's team based who's going to win the meet.
mm-hmm,
Nothing individual about it. But when you individualize it, it's kind of like, okay, cool. The only people that can really rock with that are the people that are in Europe. But in the States, they don't really want to see that.
mm-hmm.
Let me
They don't
interject
want to see
here because I made a point earlier about having an emotional connection to athletes. Um, I think that if you create these teams, the absence of an emotional connection between the fans and these teams will still run us into the same problem. And so, what
But
really,
Larry,
go ahead.
uh, fans don't like Kobe Bryant and LeBron James and Michael Jordan. They're not a part of teams.
No, no, no. There's an emotional connection to the team. There are people who are diehard Laker fans, the generational fans, so to speak. The emotional connection to that entity is what allows people to market to that fan base. And so
I
if you
Go ahead,
don't
Larry.
have if you don't have that emotional connection to that entity, you're still going to be struggling for fans. And the way you create an emotional connection is through powerful storytelling, storylines and narratives. Every year, guess what happens when you have the Super Bowl with two teams, especially when they're no name brand teams? You know what they do? They create a narrative. They find one narrative to just get everybody excited about this because that is what drives people to want to do this. So the absence of that marketing, a lot of this is in intelligent, direct marketing,
Right.
intelligent and also intentional marketing, where you're saying this is a storyline that we're going to create, this is a storyline that we're sticking with, and we're going to push this. And when you start to see that happening, and I think I like what Noah is doing with this Netflix series, and we need more of those stories because at the end of the day, we're drawn to these human beings. And I said it today on yesterday on my write up on what you call it on Facebook. I said fast times are good to see on paper, but a good race is what we want to actually see. That's what's memorable. You understand? So when we are connected to what is happening on the track emotionally, it makes it that much better. And the last thing I'm going to say is before we move on is one other way that we have not tapped into. And I asked this question on social media. Any of us playing the fantasy prediction game on IDOT on World Athletics? I am. And it feels like so much more exciting because now I'm looking to see if my prediction is going to come true, if I'm going to win points. Because if you win, then you win something, right? People who are going to horse racing and dog racing, they're not interested in the dogs. They're interested in the thrill of what they're going to get, the guesswork, the information, the betting and all that kind of. So if we can find a way to include the entirety of what's working with those other sports, that fuels that emotional
I could
connection.
tell you this much. I could tell you this much as at Congress, the president, Cole, he highlighted the fact that they have employed I forget the company's name, but it's a big one.
DraftKings?
No, something with D, I think. Dillon's something. But they are the marketing, I guess the sports marketing guru in the world,
Okay.
right? They do different sports and so on. And so they are now doing something where they can come up with the best way moving forward. Because if you realize, well, in the stadium, back home we'll say, shh, quiet for the, well, yeah, you're quiet for the start, but like the long jumping, so don't make no noise. The high jumping, so let's keep it quiet and so.
Yeah.
No, not up there. It's just noise, rock and roll music coming out of the PA system. It's just a party. And what I think was missing, especially not from a income generation, but from a fan engagement and excitement, is the adaptation and the evolution of the sport when
Yep.
it becomes an event. Too much competition, look at cricket. Cricket was the gentleman's game. Now if you ain't drinking rum and partying and making noise at cricket, the cricket nobody come in,
Yeah.
Just you can see golf start to do it and tennis and them other sports because that's the way you have to keep people engaged and just for and you can't go on and on and on. That's where the 2020 came about. And so, making the meets more exciting, more, concise and so on. All that plays into the attraction. But I mean, I only in my lifetime only one person I was able to see do what he did, and that was why he named for the sport. That's
Bulls.
you see,
Yeah.
nobody will come close to him in terms of the attraction. If when I saw him, not to belabor the point, but when I saw you saying that the NBA All-Star game, it's over. You just don't get invited to the All-Star. Come on, from a different sport? No. And
Wow.
so
Yeah, good point.
You have a good point. Well, Noah's trying.
That still doesn't address
Go ahead.
how do you massage and shape track and field into a league type scenario that everybody's talking about. I've heard Head and Shoulders Above the Rest talk about it, heard Ray talk about it. I would like to hear, so I still haven't heard any good models. That 1v1 thing doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. Could I answer Jamster again? Maybe I should just make it a little clearer. What I'm saying, there are models around that we could use. Of course, you might have to have a hybrid of a number of things, but for example, the biggest meet in the Caribbean is Jamaica Champs, right? So that meet shows us exactly what we're trying to achieve in terms of getting numbers of people in the seats and people attracted to a specific meet. And again, it is a team oriented. Some might argue, as Larry said, that you want storylines. we had a lot of stories this year with Shelly, Shakari, Talu. Although that storyline could be incorporated into that type of team setting. Within the team, there are stories developing from different angles. You have your talk shows like the NBA, who have a lot of these talk shows talking about the whole meet leading up into it, build the excitement. So it's a discussion I think the heads at the World Athletics need to have in terms of changing the traditional aspect of the sport so that it could be more engaging. It's a number of things needs to be adjusted. So there's no one size answer right now, in my personal opinion. But there are a number of examples of things that work that we could use in order to make it much better. That helped a little.
Jamstar, you're asking if it helped.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so that's my response to that for now. But it's gonna take a whole process from a lot of people who
Yeah.
has all degrees and stuff.
I think he just need to. I don't know. I don't know if some sort of, because it needs money, right? It needs
Lots,
money.
lots of money.
Lots of money. I know Qatar has been pushing a lot to be. I don't know what's their agenda, to be honest. I
If they
learned
want to
that.
help, let them help.
I learned that yesterday, or the day before yesterday, they would have signed a contract with World Athletics to put down 10 tracks around the
What?
world.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who?
The Qatar government or athletics, whatever.
Okay.
yeah, Qatar, yeah. And so I know Anguilla is bidding for one of those 10 tracks. Uh, countries that never had a track, basically.
Oh, that's
Um,
good.
yeah, so
Wow.
I think, yeah, Congress for the voting. Actually, one of the guys who was up for vice president was Prince.
Wow.
Money talks.
Yes, he
Money
didn't win, but
talks.
maybe so we might have get some money. But yeah,
All right. This has been such a wonderful discussion. We're going to try to wrap things up with just essentially previewing what is to come.
But we haven't talked about the 100.
Oh, the 100. Oh, we kind of. Jamson wants to talk about the 100.
At least
Girls. We've been talking about it all afternoon, all evening. But let's have a little take on the 100 girls, which was today. And I mean, I didn't get to see it live. I don't really have TV, and I was watching it on YouTube, and then everything just stopped.
See how he is? He didn't see it, so we shouldn't
Everything
talk about
just stopped just as the race was about to start. All the feeds just went away, and I was just like, I went by my neighbor. Do you have TV? No, I don't have TV. I said, crap. The race is about to start. So I called Jamstar on video so I could watch the race via WhatsApp. He said the race finished.
it. Yeah, he had finished. He had finished. He had finished. Just
And he
finished.
said she carry one. I said, what? So, guys, what was your take? Were you when you saw she had that outside lane, did you think that was the reason why she won, or she was going to win anyway?
I think that was a blessing for her. Go ahead, Bunting, my bad.
No, she. Some people thought, oh, she's all the way in lane 9, but some other people were like me. I was saying that was probably the best situation for her. She runs the best when she doesn't feel too much to be pressured. And then the one thing that I said, she's gonna win this if she starts out with everyone. If she has that start that she had in the semis, she's losing. But if she has a start where she's out there with everyone, she doesn't have to blow everyone out the water. Great. Then she wins. Then she can easily win this because her top end speed is crazy. And yes, Sharika has really good top end speed, but I haven't seen top end speed like Sha'Carri ever in my life. That she has really, really, really good top end speed. But I think the thing that amazed me the most was Shelly squeezing out a medal. That was probably I was like she's the greatest.
Yeah, she's a champ.
Her to have those injuries, and then she just walks into worlds and then says, "Yep, I'm just gonna pop a medal out of here."
And John Smith, I know John Smith, ran the thing 4th again. No, it will be Talu.
Man,
May the
I think
fourth be with you.
Talu is born in the wrong time, man. Talu, this not
Bye.
championship material, man.
Yeah.
I think 2017 was her best chance, and I think her chances are past now. But I'm with the young athlete. I think lane 9 was a blessing for her. I think if she lined up in the middle of Shelly and Sharika, she might have pressed a little bit too much or try.
And she
I
would have
don't know.
fallen apart, yeah.
Yeah, but out there by herself, I said, oh gosh, I think she could get them because she know, as she said, once she is focused, she technically is, to me, is most technical out of all the athletes. Technically, she's the best. As a coach, looking at her front side and everything, her touches, light on her feet, her turnover, her stride frequency, stride length, it's something people are gonna look at for years after as a model of what should be done when it comes to
She's
sprinting.
very relaxed also.
Yeah, and relax. She has all the facets of being a great sprinter.
Yeah,
But
relax when she's in a different zip code from the other, from
there you go.
the
That's it.
fast people.
Yeah, once she's in a different zip code, she's gonna be difficult. But I think her confidence is up now, eh?
Bye.
So
We're not
going
gonna
forward
hear.
is gonna be different.
That means that deuce is about to be fire.
Not necessarily. Well, the deuce is going to be fire, but
You know who I think gonna be look out for next year?
Who?
Elaine.
Who?
Elaine.
Elaine?
Yeah, I feel so too.
Yeah, Elaine. Trust me. Look out for Elaine next year.
Prediction, boy.
In that 100 meters and so, look out for Elaine.
Yeah, we have a point.
Elaine, remember some runners are championship winners while others are Olympic winners.
Mm-hmm.
The Olympic winner.
You have a good point. But
Elaine
I
is
really
Olympic.
think that Shelly Ann is going to come back next year with a
I feel so too.
vengeance.
That too.
And
Yeah,
I think
I think so too. I think
that
once
world
Shelley
record is
speaks-
hers next year. Now that she has somebody running 10.6. In fact, you have 3 people running 10.6 now and 1 running 10.5, meaning Elaine running 10.5 and Shikari and Shelly Ann running 10. It's 4.
Well, for Sharika, Shakari.
It's 4 10.6, 3 10.6s and 1
and
10.5.
Yeah.
And Germany don't work like that. Every year is a different year. They ran 10.6 before. That don't mean they're going to repeat it. They might have plateaued and they might be on the decline going forward.
Now,
So
we are of the view that Shelly Ann is not on the decline, not just because of what we saw. In fact, what we saw
10.77.
what we saw today was so encouraging, having the considering that she hasn't raised.
Guys, do you guys realize that? Do you guys realize that this 100-meter female today was the fastest ever? You've never had someone running second who ran
10.72.
10.72 or 10.77. It's just insane.
Females
Statistically, that has never happened before.
on the 11. 2 females didn't go on the 11.
Wow.
That was 11.
That's
and
crazy.
11 also.
Oh, they ran 11. Oh, wow.
Hey guys, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there will be a decline. I'm just saying that we can't predict this year's time will translate to next year because Shelly's my favorite female sprinter, but Shelly's still 37 and she never had an injury before she was 36. So, not knocking on wood, I don't expect anything to happen. But as you get older, things happen, and pray and hope nothing happen. But once she's fully healthy, I'm with everybody here. I think she is of the view she could win again. And Elaine's still there. We still have Shakari with the confidence. She's young and strong. And Sharika is still running. So and next year should be very interesting. Plus, Julian Alfred, she could get better. She won't have all those races under her belt. So she might be fresh next year.
In fact, I mean, Shelly's older than the rest, but I feel like Talo really needs to retire.
No.
I'm not going to say that about Shelly. Talo needs to retire.
Talo is not going to. She has an Olympic year next year, and
she's going to be 35 next year.
Although she's not winning medals, she's still making money, right?
Yeah, true.
Right.
True.
And it's her career, so
$10,000-$15,000
per race.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was just playing, but it just I mean, it has to hurt to come forth again.
Again.
And
Oh
you
my.
know, and listen,
What is it called?
we saw the John Smith improvements early in the season, and it was very and let's say it was very impressive. But fourth again,
But let me tell you something. The nothing. Yes, not taking away anything. The 1065 from Sharika, but
Shikari.
Shakari, I'm sorry, but Shelly. I mean Shelly. How you gonna run two races before the this meeting and was
One ten
finished?
seven.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm saying it was very encouraging, and I'm
She
just
went every race she ran. She did. I was doubting. I had a little bit of doubt. Cause her first round race at 11:0, she usually won easier than that
yep.
for her 11:0. For her 10:8 in the semis,
Yeah, she had to
again,
run.
won very easy for that 10:8 in the semis. She left it till about 90 meters also to shut down, or maybe less,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
to the 10:8.
and then look
And
at
then to
this.
come back and still.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
but here's the crazy part that I was thinking this afternoon. She ended up in the catbird room, and it ended up winning everything. Meaning the room where you're on the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
When have we seen that happen? That hardly ever happens. Because remember she ran 10-8-2 and she was in the room.
You mean Shikari?
Yeah, she was in the
10-8-4.
she was in the bubble room with
Oh yeah, Shikari. Yeah.
Yes. I don't remember who she was in there with, but Swoboda was in there first. Swoboda and somebody else. I don't remember.
Daryl Nita.
Daryl Nita, right?
But didn't
yeah.
all of them run?
No,
That
not
night?
Nita.
Daryl ran.
Daryl ran, but she didn't. She was in the bubble room with
But what I'm saying, did all of them run? Like all 9?
No,
Yeah,
8.
well,
No,
Yeah.
all 9 ran. All
yeah,
9 ran.
nine because
Yeah, Daryl Nita didn't run the finals. I'm saying
I'm
Swoboda
telling you.
and
Oh,
But
sorry, Dina Asher Smith.
ran. Yeah.
What happened was two people had the same time. Swole
Dina
Booty
and Swoboda had the same time.
Swole Booty had the same time as
Right.
somebody else, and they put
them together because
9, yeah, 'cause it was
you
the
don't
same.
necessarily have to go to the 1,000.
Yeah, 11:01. They couldn't separate them. They said so.
Oh, they couldn't.
No,
Wow.
Yeah, no,
but
probably
it
the
was
12.
different heats. So Swole Booty had 11:01.
Swole body, yeah.
Swole Booty, that's what we
Swole
call it.
booty.
Swoboda. Thank you guys.
No, Swole Booty.
All right, here we go.
All right, before we go, let's talk about these. What's happening this week? We have tomorrow. We got the 400 semifinals for the men and 400 hurdles semifinals. When the only finals we have tomorrow are 15 and 3,000 meters, and we have the hurdles for women heats, and so tomorrow is not necessarily crazy exciting day. So we're looking forward to Wednesday when Nadal is going to be jumping in. What you got? You have your start sheet start list yet? You know what heat you're in?
You're muted.
I think you're muted.
You're muted. We can't hear you. Unmute your mic, Mr. Bunting.
No, that start list is not out as of yet. Now, no.
Do you have a
I think
preferred lane? Do you have a lane preference?
Maybe either lane 7, 6, or 3. Those are preferred lanes for me. 7, 6, 3.
Now, is this going to be your first time lining up against this level of competition in terms of like this level of like Noah Lyles and these other people, or I mean, what's your feeling?
When it comes, if I were to lane draw Noah, yes, it would be probably some of the best. But I've lined up with some guys during this year during regionals during going into like the Big Tens and stuff like that. So I've lined up against some big guys before and have pulled out good performances for myself. So yeah. But if I were to lane draw Noah, bring it on.
There you go.
I'm gonna run my heart out, man.
That's it.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot, and it might be unethical to ask this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway.
Ethics, Larry. Come on.
Oh, it's ethical. Trust me.
Okay, good.
Nadal, who you think is going to win the 200?
Nadal Bunting is gonna win it.
I'm gonna win this right now.
All right,
We're
there you go.
we're gonna we're gonna talk. Mm, I think Noah can win it, but I think Tobago can.
Dude, you quit before you're ahead. You said you're going to win it, so let's leave it there.
I'm, okay, we can leave it there, but I'm
Give him
gonna give
points for realism.
Oh
a
my.
good point.
All right,
But
so real talk. You think Noah's going to win it?
Noah can win it. But I also think Tobago can win another medal. I think he can win. I think he can get the a silver.
All right, Delwayne, who you think is taking this 200?
My guy, Bunting.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, he says Bunton. Coach.
I'm gonna support Bunting first. Bunting is a all right. I'm not going against our athlete. For second, probably Noah, and third, probably Tobago. All right, so that's what I'm going. But on a serious note, though, Bunting, we want to say we're proud of you and go out there, just do your best, represent the country well. Even just to make it to the World Championship with those high standards is very difficult, and we appreciate you holding the flag for St. Kitts and Nevis out there. So kudos to you and just do your best. Okay?
Of course, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, so super proud of you. Thank you for coming on board, even though you're supposed to be sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that you're able to. Like I said, what we're doing today is, again, no other station is doing this. Nobody else is getting these hot takes, and I'm proud, super proud, and thankful that you're able to just give us some of your time. And you can be rest assured, we're gonna try to come back on Friday. I don't know if you guys are gonna have any time, but I would like to come back on Friday and do another recap of the week. So y'all, you guys game? I mean, I'll be happy to get some again more hot takes from you after your trip to the finals in the 200 and how that felt racing against those world class athletes. So can we say we can come back on Friday and have some more banter? Y'all game?
I'm
I'm
game.
game.
All right. All right. So any parting words, parting takes? You guys have the floor, and I will give you guys time to say what you got to say.
Yeah, I just want to thank the Larry and Jamston, the Win FM crew for having track and field as a major discussion point on the airways in St. Kitts and Nevis. I think this is very helpful to the association with President Delwyn being right here.
Thank you.
Also to promote bunting also. I think our athletes, our coaches, our association needs this kind of promotion within the country to bring life into track and field. So we could start recruiting some of our better athletes. So future teams will be um, much larger. Bunting will have people with him next time. So thank you, Win FM and Larry and Jamster, of course, for the platform. We appreciate it from our end.
Thank you for showing up always. Got a lot of love for you. Delhi, what you got to say?
Yeah, same sentiments. Thanks, guys, for joining. It's always good to talk track and field with track and field folks.
Yeah.
You know, who know what they're speaking of. Um, it's all good. The atmosphere is right. For Bunting, the atmosphere is right. For you to go there and beat your best shot, perhaps even set on your personal best in the 200 meters that you set up yourself for next season at the Olympic Games. So we'll talk more, of course, Bunting. So we are here with each other. And so, but to NFM, thank you for showing track and field some love.
Yeah.
It's all love, man. And Mr. Bunton, you got the last say because you're the guy. You're the man of the hour, and you know, let's hear your parting words before we hit the road, Jack.
Yeah, before I go to sleep, thank you guys for I love the conversation of track and field. Don't get enough of it. There needs to be more of it. But thank you for the support and everything. And yes, Delwyn will be out there in the hot sun, waiting for 200 meter to go off. So it'll be in the morning session, so that'll be 6:50 you guys time. So if you guys want to get up early and watch,
I'll be up.
by all means, go up.
All right, before we go, any pressure?
No pressure.
All right. Awesome. Guys, listeners, everyone, viewers, thank you guys for tuning in. This was Distractions, only good news. And we'll have more on Friday. So see you guys then. Till then, you guys be kind and spread love. Peace.